Right. So if you're going to criticise, Jesus did say something about cloaks and swords. You may want to go and look that one up. But the family has a right to opine on the matter of the mid-century Germans, because the British education system is terrible at covering the subject, and because we have a right to discuss the matter because we were involved in it. My maternal grandfather was on a British warship called the Orion, and you can go and look that one up at your leisure. He left a delightful artefact after his death, which was a bit of shrapnel that went through his neck. Hope the focus on that one's okay. But yeah, that thing went through the old man's neck, but he survived, so it winged his throat. I believe he got his medical discharge because his knee got banged at some point, and he got out. But the Germans nearly finished us off. So if he died, my mother wouldn't have lived. Therefore, I wouldn't have lived. So there we go. We're not actually a fan of the mid-century Germans for my potential critics. The reason for that is because they were Hegelian Volkssocialists. So Hegel, as we've worked out, is just an idiot. The dialectic is just nonsense. So the Germans' brains were rotted out by not being Orthodox Christians and hanging on to their country. So Hegel plus Nietzsche convinced themselves that God was dead and they could just be gods on earth and just take it all over. But of course they ran straight into the Russians in the cold. So that wasn't a very good idea, was it, Germans, really? So if you'd carried on with Christian ethics, you might have just done a bit better, really, might have succeeded. But because the British had to contain Hegelian Volkssocialism, you can't actually purify the gene and get closer to God, guys. That's not actually how this works. We should go on forever because God is eternal. But the alternative view, of course, is this kind of stuff. This is what Hegelianism generally creates. Lots and lots of nasty murders because the ideology is based on nonsense. So we're used to dealing with those kind of Hegelians because because they create lots of them and very low quality Hegelian followers. The cult has persisted through to the modern day. You get lots of them running around British public bodies. But again, if you maintain the Christian ethics stuff, you don't actually have to consider that the past 200 years have been particularly good for the British. So we can say, well, okay, we can take a Scrutonian argument. If you're going to smash the place up, we're going to just remove people who are attacking the British, because Christian ethics says you don't actually have to tolerate that if you don't wish to, and the British will have our home back. So it's not very, very hard, is it? But no, the Hegelian Volkssocialists are all dead, but the British are still just about alive.